Osunya ne beheya. Ebe koso on the 9th of Thursday downside to 11th of April. And ebe koso Mikado and in tema yenoma sebio automotive automobile ho eniema no ye pepa no yenye ntema na fi enko je stand ye 2000 Ghana cedis in tem na yenko ye from the 9th of April downside to 11th of April na jumedi no ehye so omo sponsor na ye Prolex lubricants so your ultimate auto protection and after AC trucks and trailers logo to Togo Lumen and after so I'm electric motorbikes and scooters omunyina ka hu be so person o sponsor for 0241 812308 and answer is 02021311615 and answer say 0265321330 media sponsors and media partners like Kessben 92.9 there's the All Ghana Auto Parts Grand Expo 2026 at Baswo our Mikado Conference Center Nyane Ba Junction Ring Road Honoma. And it's 7:52 in the studios of Kessben 92.9 and I feel so Kessben TV. So meaning at the man sign soon for Kojo Preko Dankwah. You been komo ye pa. Make sure so we are live at 92.9 FM and I feel so DSTV channel 364 and then on Go TV channel 121 on Facebook Kessben TV and then on Facebook again Kessben 92.9 on sa ebe kan ye wo honom ma me kwa hoba no so na fe memfa ye health segment no which is brought to you by C4C liver limited omo ene ye no ma be di enkomo sisia na fe liver specialist limited ye no be di enkomo na dwumedi ato aso fiti adwada ene Thursday ye nto aso na fe onfa adisuano ma ye pa enra dog Dr. Zema bia bokode
Oba dia da ma senior we bia boko
aha yeso ye hu ye enra na akwache sem na me doctor na fi course na me nya bipa na messages na ye de emma me because ye se watachi enfiem na mimi sasa ye no muso a sebio ye de no ye hwitom na ye kono ano se nya ndен na miss questions ana mimi phone line se ma doctor na doctor nchechemu mamu but obeka bia no mo ba homesa ne fofra breme na masan ebisa entomo se omo de na omukọ na tretre no mu ina te so ene tintintintintintin sa na omo so no mu wi a omunya ne den sa na me so okay doctor ba me de menye doctor siama ba obechechemu na fe yato aye de ewo ho no so into dog over to you obi be kan jolate
really I mean I say I don't pay so na I am the so omo bisa because when you are A+, you have to be the first point.
Yeah.
I also mubisa. I am with the pa na no kwani say your call yes why you so that like latrine that type no.
Exactly.
I think the best me betini aye and say your bema na ura hwa ma sebi o bema no ensensen ho kitem and I said, some pa, or your bass as well, for tissue. Na fat to sebi or quine or so, mounts and lasso. So that it prevents, at least it reduces enema from going there. You see, bacteria need to heat now if free a whole bano. They in the air, any baby are there. Until my direct entry to just cover yourself with a tissue. And then your body will say, oh, baby, my tissue is out. Tissue there, at least you want you can buy one pack now. They are showing in case baby I need all those things now. Then you use it until you cover your house a boy. Then you make sure say yes, so walls nimu. Yes, so yes, I back in the village now. Even more hair painting and I was school and even more painting wall no. So sometimes also now you can also attract something from there. You see, it's a place a lot of filth until you don't have to spend much time. Even more to me on my phone, a washroom. ekotnase emi aso. But you are not helping yourself. Yeah, you so that no. Let's help ourselves with tissues. Why now you cut down touching stuff in those areas and also be why pa.
Yeah, and so me a victim because me never rush room there. Hona me never ni now. Send your phone you cram me and me send the messages yeah. Yeah.
Very good, senior. I am the same way. This is one of the reasons Ankofonia constipation, prostate condition arises because of that. Because we're spending a lot of time in the washroom, you are sitting, you are putting a lot of pressure on your pelvic area, and gradually, will increase the size of your prostate from that area. Ooh. And sitting for a long, I think one of these is a bit discussed prostate enlargement. Then you know that in your man sad condition, but it can be genetic, but gradually it causes an enlargement in those areas. It might now washroom for so many hours. We want to look at now about 20-30 minutes. But still not all. See, so all these are normal contributed to carrying failed and then internal issues, maybe infections the brain if we were albeit no mundosa only maybe infection if we ba pacho it's me free hosoba.
Wow. Where what can sample memano? Ya kwasho ho no mani ese tie ni be ye messages ni bibia Richard so kwasho wa be 30 minutes no sorry. Oh okay. Oh so na kan magazine graphic.
Yes. Oh and they do how ni ba.
We am ko kan. We am ko kan na ya send me afifie no ya say you there 1 hour. They say here boss. Dog.
Yes, yeah.
We that's sama na medicain. We be mending. Yan kwa
na. Ba ko pa sama ma o.
Wo hu ade no, ni ade abehye me ko say you there 1 hour. Enti no ya send am me. Dog yan kwa na den na wo ma ye.
Yes, senior. I think it's now actually static thrombosis. Yeah, you see how say thrombosis basically trace a formation of a thrombus. Thrombus also a clotting of the blood. Na your moja na any kwan say clotting. The AD home command or pay before waiting na no say efia ba ni pedia no munti ama omoja no leukocytosis or red blood cells no try say fight is efino. In the course of doing that no etima omoja no thick and thickness of blood no constantly it may cause clotness of the blood and moja no so clotwa intimi and circulate ye senia ye hwe kokogu form ha na hwe nsuo gu ha ohu se nsuo no tenen than the porridge moja na woni pedianum so we say yes nsuo until your nerves, your brain, the kidneys, the liver do not get aduane no so mudia moja ni then they start losing the ability to perform. One major thing we say endothelial tissue injury. See endothelial tissues mean special tissues or blood vessels produce thrombomudealing, aggregation of platelet aggregation, any some tissue plasminogens where special things na mojano po it's nyankopon na ye sa but yes say sa endothelial tissue no with one your pressure no cause be brain ya fa aphrodisiac ya no na ama ya kuma no bon tentem ne pushi moja akose be be man mu ma ya ne ho kafo ada 2 hours 3 hours no akuma no na wo yuso timo na akuma no so bon tentem na ne pressure na hit on the blood vessels no na say endothelial tissues no in a long term it ima moja na take a circulation by a problem yes wa e bi o ya fa energy drinks ahodo bebre no so and also that effect no am I e bi yeah, what diabetes, yeah, problem with high blood cholesterol, and also so etini am I mojani check. Another thing the axial flow of blood, the alteration in normal blood flow. The pacho moja 4 components. 1, your red blood cells, 2, white blood cells, your platelets and your plasma. The first when you now are holding a denante, you say your red blood cells, no was an holding because it carries oxygen. Oxygen is feeding your brain, your tissues, maybe beyond your then your white blood cells, no, because of a fee air, more for you who ever bunny pedian munti. Also, almost twasso. Now, ometing to 3 fine, your me free body. Your platelets, so you be try any quasi a bleeding bruise be brea, yes, a baby sumoja. Tiango, why is a platelet no, a becky cambo, na mamojano, I take temporary, now stop flow of blood no and your plasma no it be your proteins and also do one na nsuo nti when you now one adenante say changes the ever the axial flow of blood the normal flow of blood no pe and also to me the thrombosis by nti will be a friend turbulence and what stasis turbulence no basically the blood no blood flow no asesa and stasis no say moja no ayetic into me move basically when now no na dey problem with circulation ba until do how once what na se waka move for some distance na na ya tata o si na nti kakra na atwetwe na adwenya ne say bia what na car for long distance eno kwanti na yesa o blood na ka bibia kire say at some point no circulation no problem nti do area bia enye straight enough for it o chewo ho eno be tia ma na ya mama so 2 years ago nanti na circulation no improve gradually ekosu bebrea etinima unya problems with your blood no yenso so e bia yare na yare bedridden ya dam pem for so many months so many years no so etinima ye moja no so take yes so aye acquaint to a long journey obi wo ha free ha of course failure long hours some 1 month time no asaba long hours all those things it's nasty for a long time long hours long journey the brain so to me increase that kind of thrombosis factor no pedian technically you have a lot of mutation a lot of protein C protein S edino esoso but the thing na say make sure say omoja no enya take obe make sure say omoja no enya take na exercise you good try as much as possible say mild exercise be bit aerobics cry good breathe in breathe out little bit of pace walking, little bit of maybe jogging, little bit of push-ups, little bit of just to help circulate mojano, minano, ebwa. Senior, Messenger, thrombosis, and only one of the major things ekofa cardiovascular diseases eba. Now cardiovascular diseases so the World Health Organization CSA, and no the leading cause of death for all chronic diseases. Leading cause of death for all chronic diseases. Wow. Answer cancer, answer diabetes, answer kidney, I can't want them. It's your cardiovascular system, dear. Sister, and friend, we are grow. And my circulatory system, no any problem. Any problem, will liver any mojaye, will kidney any mojaye, kidney necessarily a hungry organ, or pemoja. It's when mojaye, obebre, obehow. Obema wana ya tata obema wo anxiety triti obema weni aye blare obema wakoma bon tente obema wa adwen no be foggy obema obenya delirium obema wenya problem o vision obema wenya problem kura wo untini mu obema na sebi ode bo ho safo he no ho ode no ebe jojo entimi nye ejima oba wa tenka beyira ema ade o how fofura ba ovaries any organs ahodo myself thrombosis do one pedianum. Okay.
Okay. All right. Dog, you better say na lovoto no so dear, livoto no so dear, and ye pa. May be way.
About the other man, see for see the livoto na ba livoto near all the pharmacies in Okowa Benyebi. Now, it be now a challenge in going to those areas, and I do one idea na sa. So, offer number, maybe Baba to Jani, the roll down on the screen now. Offer 24/7, yeah, but also now, and again, some say, baby, I will be on free delivery, so the amount. Kakra is a bit near the abound. Again, we'll place the order for more than 1 bottle per. What will be our per head discount? And so, take this opportunity now, place your order for Livoton. C4C are dominating all over Ghana and to some extent, some parts of Europe. War Ghana war Netherlands the official yitira kwanya myself Fanambe na free 24/7 Dr. Bejo so akokan team na wo ho no a omoni eye ejuma wo panti free +316 879 855 84 +316 879 855 84 the Netherlands branch number no na Ghana had here pacho yo Cape Coast Green Hill opposite Addison Square Garden Aguna Odobe so branch kese pa Hokumase ejuso kwa Mojache Junction Accra Adenta SDA Junction Hospital no eye ejuma 24/7 into myself but Modiana na fa number na fresh 050 00 40 331 050 00 40 331 and now 050 00 40 328 050 00 40 328 C for C Liver Specialist Hospital. Yes, so bre boy ya won kwanti kai na hye no so na kai say ye GM drone bi ye treatment plans ni bi ti na bi ya ka say once treated forever treated senior and okay that's bebre
beso me that's bebre doc ochina nyame adoma ye besan ehia ye pa enti me kwajejo questions na ba.
All
right. Yeah, Dr. Esiama and then in the common from C4C Liver Specialist Hospital, making a segment, the health segment on a Kessben match, the April with the 6 minutes into a 8 and then in paying for a bet nasi the honorable Nicholas Amankwa homeboy MP a Menfi East of the NDC Betenas and face so a Benjamin Asari also Betenas, a member of the National Communication Team of the MPP. Also better na fe din komo na fe ahwe de ko ene de benyin and then we'll touch on too many issues here and you know one has to do with the African historic vote on the slavery and also especially the declaration of the trafficking of enslaved Africans and racialized chattel enslavement of Africans and who you and the ko ene nyina no ye de nyina ebe bro e wa hanom. It started somewhere between year 2023 when we knew our former president on the 78th session of the United Nations Mayor General Assembly and then the president Nanado Akufo-Addo the Eshasie ewo honum somewhere year 2023. Today finally UN has accepted says one of the grievous crime ever. You better komo ye pa. You better go deep into that particular matter. Na fe yedi hu enkomo. And then we're going to look into the Nobel syndrome. Na and also yashe and also ye pa. But let me start with the issue of tomatoes, which affects every home as we speak. Tomatoes who abeye din ye pa. Isane se Burkina Faso for etimi actually said ya ye dear. Whatever it is, they will not allow us to pick up the tomatoes raw materials in this time around. They are telling us it's someone kasa aye processing machines in the factories or honom produce. They adding value to tomatoes, for us to then buy it after the value is added onto tomatoes. This has become another matter to most of the African countries, especially Ghana. Tomatoes, but it's interesting that we are now being proactive when it comes to ASR tomatoes in Komodie way home. And then Minister for Greg, Minister Ura Eric Opoku, Parliament yesterday has outlined some of the measures on that to tuja. Almost for say a bit to me na tomatoes ya Burkina Faso. For aje se omo mayen se bio yen yusu bia na se yen beto bio no ne dodo na no make keep wo honom da ye de se ne de fata wo hono or the government sisi bi ababa betudwa mo me yentie no wo 92.9 afesian on Kessben TV na fe yemra na yemedi enkomo.
Have a gap of approximately 300,000 metric tons to close before we can attain sufficiency in tomato production in Ghana. But we have to understand, we have to have a better appreciation of the challenge, the root cause of it, before we can prefer the appropriate solution to deal with it. While our counterparts in Burkina Faso are doing 18 tons per hectare, we are doing 8 tons. So what is the problem? The problem is the seed, the variety that is used in the production of tomatoes. And so we have decided, and this morning we had a meeting with Waki of Legon and some of the research institutions, and they have given us the assurance that they can give us a variety that can give us more than 20 tons per hectare. Yeah. More than 20 tons per hectare. So we are asking, we are committing them. We have made some resources available to ensure that we develop that variety to bring a lasting solution to the problem.
Ya na edo sododo. Akrachi fo bunkunta, de ebedua bia yebeti bia no, 30% de ochemu ha. 30 de na asekwa. Enti ehu se yetimi esi de sei na no kwan. Se ye ma 30% ne sei biu. Na ye nya 30% be ka de yebia no ho a. Na ye say 510 na yebia no. Eno kwa problem move akobe 660,000. There's a coca bear 140,000 pet. Nanka gap na my import na ira. Na face ye seed no variety e kama. Ebetu yamazimize output no. Na ya create sa environment na. So the seed no ko show indeed output no be nya. And na ya sa na solve cry dey awie. And the maya to yansa frɛ work here University of Lagos. Some researchers are seed what mommy be. Almost on form nim de emeboy. You know the din komo na de ko see ya say ombe coordinate other research institutions in na omodi ka ya dwendo orga kaka krabi na omotimi awi ombe maye sida ye dua no Ghana ha ye environment no yese the city na e betumi aso bebre na yetumi anya se ne ye nuanom Burkina Faso fo no ye dey enya no ndi ya ka say enya the sample we enya 15 metric tons per hectare. And you know, say you need your production no brute demand no praso. Ama you processing and you be a new man be. And it's Niama who do I dear go at so no. Ebini Ebra Yera Mama in a Zoom office now. You're launching project be a friend of vegetable development projects. Now, vegetable development projects, no, they focus, they put tire pa and they say, you say. You treat vegetables no more. Ntos na ko jeni ni yake ka hono na ye jai importation. In this project no ejani ma me ensa so. De di kan se benya seed papa e de ama akuafo. De toso me nu se benya irrigation. Na se pebro enye pebro ye betu adua ye ntos no afemu ni nyina. De toso me ensa se benya atofo a ebeto ama akuafo na nya assurance ye produce a ne tono enye problem. Endi afi atwa mu no ye selecting chroma akoma 81. San cro 81 ye select omo free district makoma 2018. Ma farmers no seed no. Ene ma omo bias. Enti omu dua na bias na ye dey ato. Endi events ase a 81 communities nyina dey aduma na ye just 1000 acres. Na afi we na farmers na nya didie no. Sasa wudua ye beto farmers no ya nhyesa afi wei omo bamu nti bias no emu awomu ama bias no so agi atomu a ye bamu e de akọ eye 40,000 hectares in sa 40,000 hectares no eno so e be ka ehun ebi eno da nchen a de ya ne say irrigation e na ye the key say ye nya nsuo no anko field ho na ukobia si do na penisi ani nyina ahyekwa ndi abansi ka dodo a ode be ministry ha nya dodo ni nyina no ye de call irrigation mu ndi si akọ ahafo ho asu na afo south the iron one say ya gi asase ye 60 hectares asase no ye irrigation afaso nyina na akuafo ndi ye put them together dada omudua ba so munyanya gesi ewie ya sa ye pack houses wo ho a omudua no ba ni nyina pack house no wa fuo mu ha e hona bias no beto no wo na bias na to nsa ba ya kra omleba no as part of the project the cars ya to car kama wo ha car fridge ni ade nyina wo ade nyina beguma e betum dia ba na present call lunch e wo ahafo no enu abi so mi ayo breku fetenta ene chirejine area ho tisi ayan krata yesan ko chobodom akoye ebi nso e wo ho sa bi so ne ye no esem mantam a eye mantam numa ho ni nyina no ye boho no mako 250 boreholes sa borehole 250 ye starting project na no e na Canada for e ba say the project no person mo boy nti omo donate 25 boreholes e de mayen e ka 250 no e na EU so ne FAO Food and Agriculture Organization also bring 44 boreholes e de e ka ho bi nti 250 no 25 every Canada for and 44 every EU any FAO na Some baby kakra bi ama project na delay kakra so baby o ha ya irrigation ya two borehole na wie afa ne de solar no beto so na ya pompe nsuo no ba you say emwa wo ho bebre a omo ye wo ni say anya fence a na say ye ne sa fa emwa no be kwa akọwe enti ho de no so nyina ya ye contractor ya be man kofo no ma fence sa esasana mati tu emma no ni youth na eye tomato and vegetables aka so ba ya omenya asasana aye secure no matwi aye sa edwuma no kama.
Okay, so 60 minutes into a year 8. So we a minister a Greek honorable Eric Opoku and a day a year and shisheye ato honom ama senior beya tomatoes ye be to me and ye be. But clearly what I'm saying is a big shame. It's a big shame for the country Ghana, where we are now putting measures. Afeni ye de eye measures. To honum say ye betumi abwa ama yenya tomatoes ewo krom hanom. Listen, for solid how many years God knows. We have been happy and very ideal because Burkina Faso to me and my tomatoes intino we were happy. Wow. I will deal with this matter. I will have to deal with this matter. But my main call ahumane so na fe member back. See, I mean, can catch you say enra yenya asemde ete when it comes to the African continent and then the Caribbean. Why am I saying that? I'm saying this because one of the historic Niema esi our African continent in this one. To me, empire has to do with slavery, and of course, the issue of the trans-Atlantic slavery na course no no enkomo any baby di sisiano. But indeed, ora John Dramani Mahama to me ako di Africa nim Ghana nim ama bibia to me ako year for today. UN is saying that okay, yes, we agree that it is one of the gravest human enyema koswa ensemfata atumi ama Africa aboto yepa. But me kwa humano so quick one na fe minko di enkomo emra sisia because we'll have to do this one na fe membra me ko Zoom live na mene opinioni and one of the senior lecturers or African University of Communication and Business ora Dr. Godwill Kwame Tete Areko menono endi enkomo emfa what really transpired at the UN na fe yendi hu enkomo yepa. Dr. Godwill Kwame Tete Areko, if you can hear me, good morning and welcome. Meneno Jumano ewo Zoom. So if you can hear me, good morning. And then let me ask, truly, yesterday you heard the good news because you also a lecturer in Africana Studies. If you can put on your camera, I will be happy. I'll be so glad for you to put on your camera so we can then have a discussion. So you're a lecturer when it comes to Africana Studies. Yesterday, you heard the news coming from the UN that Africa wins history vote on slavery. First of all, I want to ask you, what do you make of what has really transpired at the UN?
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's just that you need to put on your camera.
Okay. Yes, I put it on.
Okay, very well. So, if you can also hear me, I was asking, what do you make of yesterday's win for the African continent when it comes to the vote at the UN on the slavery?
Okay, thank you very much. It is good news. This issue of compensation, restitution, and beginning the process of healing, among others, has been on the lips of a good number of African leaders. Our immediate former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, spoke about this and demanded justice. And I'm very happy that his successor, President John Mahama, has also taken it up and it is getting the kind of endorsement we all have been praying and waiting for. It's good news for Africa.
Doug, and as much as it is a good news for the African continent, somebody will also want to ask, what at all do we need when it comes to this? Some years ago, some 13 million African, people were taken out of this continent. Now we're asking for UN to accept that the world should know that it was one of the grievous things that really happened on the African continent. What do we stand to gain? Again, the Caribbeans and then the African continent. What do we really, stand to gain? What are we trying to portray to the world when it comes to the slavery?
Well, thank you. What it basically means is that foremost, we want the slave states, states like United States of America, that is perhaps the biggest beneficiary, and no wonder yesterday they voted against. We want other countries like Portugal, France, Denmark, Britain, Dutch, Sweden to foremost admit that yes, we've committed a crime. That is one. Admission that we have committed a crime. And then we can then begin the process of healing, initiating the process of healing. What are we going to do next? How are we going to dialogue next in terms of what is to be done because the person has admitted that he or she committed a crime? That is actually the issue now. Admission of committing of the crime and then dialogue in terms of the way forward.
Okay, so I hear that. Now, one of your books that you have written, which I have in front of me, that speaks to African Diaspora Studies, written by Godswill Kwame Tete Areko. I have it here that I go through yesterday evening. Now, you're asking that one of the most important things that your book is also saying has to do with the start of this slavery, which started on the African continent by ourselves. Have we healed ourselves before even moving, from our own continent to say that we want the people who really stood tall when it comes to slavery to admit the fact that what they did was a crime? Because your book speaks to where slavery and all these things started here on the continent by itself.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me say that to a large extent, when I'm speaking about transatlantic slave trade task, I'm very, very measured because of the role the indigenous Africans play. However, when we talk about slavery on the continent prior to the coming of the Europeans, what we used to do or what we did in terms of slavery is quite different from what the transatlantic slave trade did. In other words, our indigenous slavery system, how we acquired slaves, how we treated slaves, is not the same as what the transatlantic slave trade did. Quite different. Never did any ethnic group that was actually involved in slavery prior to the coming of the Europeans build any dungeon purposely to keep slaves. Never did it build any condemned cell to put human beings there purposely that to die. Once you are put into this room, it is because you are now to be killed, or go into this room and die. No, we didn't do that. And so to a large extent, our indigenous system or the kind of slave trade we practice was quite different from what the transatlantic slave trade did. And let me admit that the issue of slavery is a universal subject. You just need to read Orlando Patterson and others and realize that throughout the world, from the beginning of generations, people have engaged in some forms of slavery. Biblically, if I can just take you back, when Abraham was to get the son married, he sent his slaves. And this is back. And so, yes, we did slavery as Africans, but what we did was quite different from what the Europeans came and perpetrated. Slavery took a different turn with the Europeans' involvement.
So, if I get you clear, then it means that clearly the African continent suffered somewhat in terms of human resource and all that. What are some of the things that, again, beyond the human resource, the slave trade really had that adverse effect on the African continent?
Okay, thank you very, very much. There are a lot of things. Now, let's look at the duration of the slave trade, starting from about 1440s all the way to 1870s, lasting over 400 years. And what was taking place in this part of the continent, what we normally call the slave coast, perhaps right from Senegal all the way down to Congo, down, and its interior, as far as to Mali, as far as to Niger, all that was taking place for 400 years was warfare just to capture slaves. So like you mentioned, yes, human resource, but let me just not go there now. But one thing that took place during that era was what we term as increase in the incidence of warfare. People began to fight more, and the wars were motivated by the desire to capture human beings, unlike the territorial wars that our ancestors were fighting prior to the coming of the Europeans. During the transatlantic slave trade, the wars became increased, they became more devastating because the white man has introduced a gun. Just think of, excuse me to say, you and I, or your ethnic group and my ethnic group in the war prior to the coming of the European. Yeah, we use bow and arrow. How much can that kill? But when it comes to the gun now, you open one fire and you can just think of the number of people. That is one, increase in the incidence of warfare. Two, destruction of our local industries. Prior to the coming of the Europeans, we were actually beginning to do a lot of things for ourselves. Our kente making industry, our pottery making industry, our iron smithing making industry, among others, were shaping up and beginning to see some level of success. Unfortunately, because now you are just to secure yourself, you don't have the freedom to move about and do these things. All these industries virtually came to a standstill as people now began to just think of how they will survive. Another very, very important effect of the transatlantic slave trade is the late development of the cash crop industry. Late development of the cash crop industry. Now, today, our economy to some extent is relying on cocoa, is relying on rubber, on palm. Among other things, a lot of our people are now engaged in this agriculture, industry to survive. But for 400 years, it was not the focus. It was not the focus. It was about getting Africans to leave this continent and go to the United States to go and produce sugarcane, to go and produce cotton, among other things, to feed industries in US and in Europe. And so, yes, for 400 years, we were not producing any, or were not engaged in any form of cash crop production that could build economy. And let me actually mention this one, loss of dignity. Loss of dignity. Imagine a ship docking at South Carolina and all the 600 or so slaves that are on board, men and women from Africa, dark skin, and they are all naked. They defecate. The women have, men and women defecated on themselves. Women have menstruated in the course of being shipped, and all blood and other things on their body, and now they've disembarked. And for the first time, coming into contact with an European, dignity of the African was taken away. And last but not the least, that I want to mention is that Africa was introduced into global economy in the most unfair order. It is during this transatlantic slave trade that for the first time we see the world map as it is. That, if you remember, America became what is called the Newfoundland. America, now we can see America, USA, up and down. We can see Europe, we can see Africa, we can see Asia. Indeed, prior to the chancing of Europeans on the United States of America, all that they knew or we knew existed was Europe, Africa, and Asia. Much later, then USA became a part of what I would term as world map today. And Africa became one of the most continent that was introduced into this global economy in the most unfair order, because its human beings can just be captured and sold, treated like a property, disposed of, and to be used for all kinds of menial things. These are some of the effects of the transatlantic slave trade. Above all, there are other effects on the African Americans that survive. African Americans that survive and were in diaspora were also affected and have been affected over the years. What we term as systemic racism. You are a dark-skinned person. And many of it manifests in different ways, including the killing of George Floyd in 2019, and several others that have been killed just because they are blacks. So these are some of the things. We did include, again, many of African Americans today have some prejudices against us. They have prejudices against us as blacks because, to a large extent, yes, you are the people responsible for our conditions in the Americas. So there are a lot of effects of this transatlantic slave trade.
Okay, Dr. Areko, thank you so much. But I'll end with you by now eating into the African diaspora. Now your book that I still have in front of me that speaks to African diaspora studies tells me that clearly the diaspora are fellow Africans who went there, just as you ended with, not happy with us and all that. I have also seen in one of your pages, page 91, that speaks to the African American slave abolitionist, where you've mentioned some names, 10 females like Harriet Tubman, and then a few others who were in the transatlantic slavery abolition when the Act of 1807 in Britain was enforced and all that. Now, clearly, how would the African diaspora feel about this? What do you think will be the mindset now? The diaspora, the African diaspora, what will be their mindset now?
I don't think I get your questions clearly.
I'm trying to ask what the African diaspora, I mean, the ones who are out there still wanting to understand what really transpired during the slave trade. Now that UN has accepted, what do you think will be the next move for these diasporans who are out there?
Okay, thank you very much. For the many Africans in the diaspora, especially those that are there as a result of transatlantic slave trade, they have a new sense of hope that we are moving on, perhaps on a new page. As it appears right now, we have just moved a motion that a crime was committed, and it has been endorsed that yes, a crime has been committed. The way forward in terms of what exactly is to be done is yet to begin. It's yet to begin. And I won't be able to sit here now and preempt anything. But for anybody who has either suffered or been part of this transatlantic slave trade, there is that hope and good news that something is on the way. Something good is on the way. There is a new, a better future on the way.
Okay, Dr. Godwill Kwame Tete Areko, senior lecturer at the African University of Communication and Business, and then also a lecturer in Africana Studies. Thank you so much for talking to us on Kessben 92.9 and then on Kessben TV. We thank you so much. Fifi, one of your students, says that I should send his greetings. To you, Richmond Amayao. Says I should send his greetings to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
A lecturer of Africana Studies, Zora, Dr. Godwill Kwame Tete Areko, and the no Edin Common African University of Communication and Business, and the no Edin Common. Time check is 8:36 in the studios of Kessben 92.9, and I feel so Kessben TV meeting at the Mansan Son for Kojo Preko Dankwah. I'm caught na femine kingdom. Kingdom, the kingdom that has your hospital, the kingdom that is saving lives upon lives. Kingdom noa oko hono moa yaresa de bibia aye kama udu hono moa tim say yes bibia aye kama ewo hono mo no omatena se ye no mo ending common afia hwe de ekoso ewo aye hospital ese me ba o ese me ba jack ese me ba weekend me frostro ho na maba bishop bishop na huhia yi pa zame bana bishop senior hotel no that so to be bana yes ne pemu no aha na mehwemu yi pa ntino enche meko ho no ba no mabedi nkoma na afi no yatoa adwumadi so amedi kan no raboni Nicholas Amankwa atena se homeboy MP Ambenfi east of the NDC na afi so Benjamin Asare member of the National Communication Team of the NPP ono so atena se enche bedi nkomo ye pa that ye ni nkomo hospital to say bibia boko there
boss nyame adom
bibia ye fine
bibia ye kama
bibia di dadi
bibia she ayare for no krasa me nchia mo
me
so wada ma o ye platform yi ene wo mu di akire no wo ba ye nti sie ni keje ni aseda to wo se aseda no nti wo mo twen wo so sa wo beba wo se Kingdom Medical Hospital there enye so yare nko na aba
dabida
makase we no kra no bia o yiri titi wo fia na okunu titi wo fia wo betumi kra ba Kingdom Medical Hospital beji admission da hokeke wo de feel environment ne keke na bibia anya kama ba boss na de bibi kan pa no Kingdom no
okay
na de ntia me di Kingdom no ni di kan ne se last week ye fi akwa say ye fi akobia menya dance di and Kessben mu ye bruta ye fi akwa no obi fra me se no wode ne nsato no mu ana asensene say normally no be the start na sensene ojeja ne nan to kakra na sensene a wo se ananse ache no eti wo se otisi ye Kingdom garlic bitters edimpe and wo se de won ko try bi keke na se anye ya metin yo de beye me sanse meti ama no che no eti se ono no wone mato chacha woni trim afa me ho adwen na boss so wo Kingdom garlic bitters no onom na nopa and wo se oye kwa wansusu and on where did you gbag na msi no so kra de ahwe adako obese ho ahwe abe ubadu se mo was one no me no na nwumre mu de kwafe chese ne naase a wo no ne nsa wode to ana asensene enyina yira ana me ka che ne se sebe ye no for God and country adwuma ne ye no ye ma metra ha ne ye ka bebi mfa emfutro ngu amanfo ani ye ni Kingdom no a over 15 years ago ye de garlic dro kane na boss obi di kan wa de bi mu no wo set pace no a na ye ma kwan sa amanfo nye bi nka honom ne ade a penny di o de penny penny so di oni hwekura no me ba ya che chese wo di twitwa ne ho enti anopa me kan for Kingdom garlic bitters no e de ama efie bia mu boss de enti am ka se ye kan for me efie bia mu ne se kan tetene ye nananom num dido o so shedido no anopa wa anum bia wonidi enwumre obafie so num bia nsa no wadidi na ye na mafo idie ase nonum kwakwa ye den na de bia ya so de ayade so obehu 35 years 40 16 no anya stroke adenti na wo se koba ne sa siesie oni padua ne to menom Kingdom garlic bitters Kingdom garlic bitters no enye se wo yade nko an ye nom na ye wone capsules so boss capsules ne kra me no na we no nye dro no anano meti se doctor bi te radio bi so ka se what the capsules no be non bitters no na the bitters na non capsules na me say what na die why the pepper then till I was saying no capsules ni we are me san kono ni bitters ka ho. How? I mean how?
Hey.
Asesi kan ni breni adi ti mo pese tese chinchina mu ku amanfo firi kroma no say. Kingdom no adi ante sa. Boss, no bitters ni mi ja ofia ho peprenti. Say me no om de ma me say me fama na me no.
Kakra.
Eti bitters ni me ja ofia. But me no bitters no, me no capsules no. Eya adwuma kro na. Onso obi won ma ope capsules. Obi won so a wontumi me capsules no. Wo pe de obe no.
Me pe capsules no.
Mo ene boss je.
Me da say. Na den.
Eti we no say awa no. Boss, ebia no obi twen so obe yade no afiri wakonya so. No aba betna amanga. Your friend na petampe. Wuti. Me mu bi anya de.
Me bobbo. Me bobbo.
Eti kingdom garlic capsules na boss no.
Eno
be mo ho ayefem mo. Nza wo fe no na ayefem mo. Na nourish your body no. Na fe malaria sem, typhoid sem or only obi any case. It is obi ti be bi twen say boss Preko Dankwah ba be yade na ma betna so ma dia konya na boss a wo bo wa. Kingdom garlic bitters, kingdom garlic capsules. And abenom. Na boss we are we memedru no a. We ni de na otwe we boss me ko ye wo achemtwere so.
Okay.
Da se brufu su kwa bi. Enya gro ye ko ye amamre ni amane a. Da se bresie ni abonte dom hene. Ye na obi akese na boss me ko na me de ginseng power no. Ekoye. Boss me kan okra afidie so me ye me hu bi eye na me ko de. Na so ginseng ni ma me ye me hu bi e ma me pro me ni amam ni ade.
That's right.
Eti me sre say one na buatna sisei no. Me man kingdom ginseng power capsules.
Mano.
Enwe mu sese mpisi ni bebre no a won mo adwumaden ti na so ma ye mbre won pam.
Omo nka. You better come on, Parliament, Mr. Speaker. But to drum Pemwa, Madam Speaker, no, I am yeah, woman, Kingdom ginseng power. It be free, I mean, my now, what will be the Bibia, Etumia, I come out. It was in Ronnie, dear, I was pharmacy near Bishop. Okay, and on the one Mac Kingdom, a medical hospital, cry will be to me and your Biatona, one of Mamma Bibia, Etumia, come out. Okay, hospital, say, boss, send ye see the party, no paddy, also can you have any man going into TV no so na manfo hwe mfidie amanfo hwe de ya boa ye ho a ye tunya de wa hodo ase na ban sa de ne oyi wa hade a boss me pese me bre wo ho say wo mo na ye professionals no ya ne wo mo bo base no wo mo suso mu fifiu esresre no ne ade a o yare no ebeko ane ekapimo eni fa kwai hospital biya boko de
na me adom bibia ye boko
Kasa no krama no nice.
Eye boko nti en ye reka chere se uhunam mo ensisi onho so se wonte apowa tutu anam bra Great Kingdom Medical Hospital now ba ye be hwe your OPD services. Aside OPD services, because eya yaresabia ba foforo nti no. Eni nti den oba pe na ekere se ye ntumi nje ne nto na o se yesan wo netiko ko ayaresabia foforo wonko je ne nto. We have 40 beds. You have 40 bed capacity. Into the we equally admit. You be admit when there is the need is there. Say you was say you do to admission. You do better admission. You wo wetiko ma onko. You wo wetiko ma onko no. Ekoba say was say we surgery bin so a. Uba Great Kingdom onko dia ye be yama. All kinds of surgeries. General surgery ye plastic surgeries nyina. Me dey bia make a plastic surgery per me say isi e visa na fa nko Dubai ye dey be ko ekropon ekuapem opposite Kingdom Home Real Estate oba onko adia ye be show ama ho ayede atọ ama wo ayede esisi wo so pepepe enso ama ye no ni esanso attend to all gynecological and fertility services ye wo mmerema bi wo ho a se na me bra di kankan no oya Mr. Speaker obedu impanimu a Madam Speaker no akofom oba nko ade na se untumi imu adwuma ana se wo low sperm count ana wako baby say wo sperm no say ye sperms na ye morphology wom ye sperm count wom wo your motility was sperms nim inti ye analyze wo sperms we nyina ma o ni ehun se sperm ne baby etochimape na ekire se eyino fertility ho no obaya wabampa ye be show analyze bibia ma ohun ayeden ama wondru se ne esefata na wo kwa what me akodi dance emia no so a want to mean fair fru no wonantel eba Great Kingdom Medical Hospital ye de mfidie ebesisi so ahwe se den na eyew den na ekoso oni paduam ne yehu ne ehawo na ye yinefi wo boko ne ye yinefi wo boko ya wetumi ayeden afa ho afa wo ba na meka sakwe me the number si betuja
fa tuja
me di tuja na watumi afre numbers no 053
okay
084 8502 053 084 8502 anase 059 372 2619 059 372 2619 me fan NC ase yo na me ka che wo se wo yo obi doctor ka che wo se oh e wo so ko ha se e ko ye lab faka ko akra wo da baby faka ko kuma se e ha hon ko echi faka ne bra ekropon ekapem esa ne lab bi a wo pese wo ye bia wo ba Grace Kingdom na se yes e ko ye lab na se yentumi anya ma opene je se wo plane ticket.
Okay, all right. Odo fakakra so na fi yen sorry so ye ba hospital a dey na be hu because wa share dey be fertility for dey say o mate ase say ehwa enese so moko and afi so no ye no mo a you cry for ice yesu yamra mwa
mombra ye ho
okay
and just am cry wo mo cry na say 30th of this month here Monday AD enimu Dr. Mofa say ojun obi ahun if oye free eye screening e da mo bia o de bra e unti a hye unti aska bia be hwe weni free yes answer free ANC consultation e ma pin phone nyina obia onyim o say ejuma seminti ontumi nko ANC consultation Dr. Mofa dream mu nyina mo ho o sanso the free ANC consultation abre every Friday Saturday to Sunday from 2:00 p.m. ediko 6:00 p.m. o say bra wo de wonyim bra sa wo bana say di say wo twa scan scan nso e free
okay
ebe chama free eya pay for nko oba consultation e bia obehu doctor oba doctor say oh anse e was so coach scan scan no kai hu ni say 50 time me e de copy May ending e free e free this time e de ko see May ending e free ye kasa obi say eh makasa san na machi akwan we ye chi akwan we ko pon we kia pem
okay
right opposite Kingdom Real Estate
okay
and I say what the otina ka mu na wo reba o so be see with the new court ye buye court fe bi we ko pon o si wo ho no abehu abro sign fe dey bia meka say e me ma Kingdom abro sign no ehunu na because esika for the ewo ehia for the ewo obi adi wo inso no dey tina wo say o ma abro sign no ehunu na abro sign dey so keke kwa oba a nurse for home a doctor for home we have specialists on the show with every conditioner what the ever your home you are specialist it's you know mesan edi your
numbers not to be na fi enko
059 37 22 619 059 37 22 619 and I say 059 39 22 129 059 39 22 129
was it number no dey atuja obi a obe free bia no obu a no special problem o de oni ni nkomo na yankase ye ma wakwankyere etwa se oba ho abra etwa se yankra so ye ba ofie wono mo a hospital say mobile etwa se oba na ye so ye ba wa ye beba na bibia ye kama but the bia ye kan ye chiri nipa se say the new standard no a Great Kingdom Medical Hospital enye ho a forget to be anti numbers mo mfa na bibia ntumi nya kama
yada sepa anti numbers no me fan to job ma ayemu amu ATCC and 059 372 2619 059 372 2619 and I face so 0530 848502 Great Kingdom Medical Hospital or say quality healthcare with excellence and care and na odi and check na ye discussions no ahihye so many medima for we pe na afia no ahihye so ora Benjamin Asare atna said the member of the National Communication Team of the NPP and I feel so here the honorable Nicholas Amankwa homeboy me bo homeboy the last 2 days ya na me hu nanimu hai the homeboy himself MP for a Ambenfi East and also at Hanoma yababe di enkomo na afia hwe de ekọ ene de babransa na me medima for hospital enwie na afi mentwa jumedie ne so a na afi yenhwe de ebe commenfa text messages in ba komienu and twaso emma this one says Capital also mentioned JDM and the NEC should stop apportioning blames the ball is not in their court they should deliver. Ghanaians are watching. Regards to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the next president for 2028 and honorable maybe our incoming MPP National Women Organizer hopeful Ono to idea or the buy and no ebe for tena say mamemfa eye discussions no enhye so na fe ye hwe de echo homeboy bibia boko de
nyame adom bia bo
say the last 2 days was Monday and me bo wudi on and say me hu we na me say my feel me bo wudi I think it's a holiday or so I think one Monday yes it was Monday and I'm say me ti homeboy in kanche me ti homeboy kanche ne say na de mensa aka we
if you had a mama won kwa na abehwe
unhu za Robin we have a code
oh Kojo
yeah fine the radiasi Baumes me chassis na fi yemfa hyehyɛ so na ebedi nkomo ye pa the tomato issues no with Burkina Bay and they will do the best syndrome hospital and ne ho eniema ekɔ no sisi and now confanoche so de no abegim say a hospital so no problem then I know say government says that he's completing a nationwide audit of all the hospitals bed capacity ni na no and then they be almost started hospitals with barcodes betumi ama bibie tumi akɔ and then establishing the national emergency command center no to also coordinate emergency response ni na ɛwɔ hɔ no but mami na yɛn hyase na yɛn ni nkɔmɔ mfa what is really happening the landmark repatriation UN the 123 countries vote supporting the Ghana resolution on the transatlantic slave trade no ho yɛn ni hu nkɔmɔ tew na afei yɛn tinsi tomatoes issue no with what the agric minister na akano it betimi at you and no efi ono metra
yo Kojo me da sepai menchia osonko na menchia ahwefo na etiefo mo agebre na omutie Kessben TV and Kessben radio anopay na menchia me honorable homeboy I think say this is my first time me initiate
programs oh okay
the last time na me call Adom TV.
Okay.
Do honum near so no na bands went me ama.
Okay.
So my first time I'm in any
okay.
Mechiano song.
Okay.
I think say so share issue about beda honum yebebo President Mahama Basso. For the first time this issue was started by Nana Dankwah 2023. Say ohente yes say we need to do something about it because ya fire nkwasu mu ache na abeye ekambi nso aba abeda ye ho ene eye abrofo na still no ohwe the way ewiase adu nyina na ni nyina mu no e de akoye racism kra nso a e affect ye yie pa nti I think say 2023 ho na ekono na ya de a nkomodie kokokoso a na ye mampani nso eye yewura John Dramani Mahama enso edene na sifam atwa dwumadi a yewura Nana Dankwah Akufo-Addo start ye no so ama yenya good results ama sese no I think say ohwa UN assembly ho na almost 126 people a omoto aba no enipa miensa pe ene decent ya omo anto aba na amfa ama ye ya 123 eto aba ne gitumu say in fact asemo a yewura president e ka no odika na yade a eye nokore ne kwan mu nso enti no baby adru the nurse no sa repatriation asemo a ye ka ho asem no na ohwe enkomo a efifiri mu bana memum de ebeye den se abrofo no omo betimi age atum kra peso ombe my compensation because utie ne UK kra ka se omo no omo ancestors ne ma omo beye ye na nye omo na sisi omo ba betu ahonka anche se akwa ya de bi a yage atum se yafom yage atum se yetietia mo fa ahodie so na emum se ye be ma mo compensation pa de eno de lala nya de a ye beye so eyade a eyeye na Kojo ohwe kwaya omo fa so omu treat ye ya na se wo de cast your mind back na wa hwe ya yade a omo de ye famu even though enipa 30 million na omo ka so omo be fa omo free Africa hako ye no before na so omo bedru areas na countries na omo ko no enipa 2 million kura wu okwem a che se eya tete ya sebe omo fa ye se ye moa bi ye nipa na nie omo se ya ma omo kro na develop nyina no ye no omo di develop kro no enso enne ye hu omo hu se ne omo ye ne nye inse se omo be compensate ye na ye nso ye kra ba ye ho na uti asem ba ko a okujeto abra kwa kan ya for the first time amene ne ya adwen o say it's not about money yenye ya adwen say ye gisika na emum ye won hihye ye bebrebe wo ho no mo a mo betimi ayede ama ye ya e betimi atwa sa card na eda ye mu no afiri ho no say okay ye yakoma to ye yem because these are the things am ayede ama ye say mo anum ho ade na mo de ye no mo anu ye ho mo anum ho but so ye wa adwen say okay ya gye atum say ya commit crime na emum no enhyehyɛ ye wo ho no e be ma ye boato ye yem no onye dia so what's the need say we be accept say ma accept say my crime man as my commit crime because who commit crime ni we are there are a lot of things that say we dey see ano kwan na who ka say onye dia na just say it's a much ado about nothing say we ba beji atum say my yem fun so na emum ni say me yem wakoma to yem no me nye dia I think say ye we but say omo tenase no mo dream who say ye kura no nya mencha de say ya go ye ho na ama wo mo because for us to go there and read ye be kwa ko semu kinasa de we na mo de ye just like that oh ye take anything say ye ba be kono gidigidi anase ye be ye keke ni ene mo abeka no boko and look at this so hwe man ya oni ni di nkomo ni book ba kwa omo started sa de we 1999 omo hinte ye Emma, to some extent, amenities be krana na say a do Africans, you know, because of ye be ya no keke krano, omu not just from day one, omo say, omo ne ye be ye baako ne hu say ye nyire ye nipa. Na se nyamia ya dom na kakra, ya ba be duru hanom na se ye ne mo abekasa, na mo ankasa, mo agi out to say mo commit crime. Na ne say mo ye ma ye ho to ye no mo say mo nya. I think say they should set up na omo ntena sibiem. Now omo hu say pepe ye ebe makoma to ye mo aba na che say gina bibi so e na ebe ma ye nso yetimi aye nti omo ntena se na ye bebo president abaso say watoa dwumadia na na Dankwah Akufo-Addo ye no so na at least the results papa they abre Africa.
But that's because even what Ora Ablakwa Kaya now Wokano and Nanado also said the same thing around that time was say and they quoted him as saying no amount of money will ever make up for the horrors, but it will make the point that evil was perpetrated, that millions of productive Africans were snatched from the embrace of our continent and put to work in the America and the Caribbean with that compensation for their labor. Yeah. That was the 78th session.
Yes. So we are consistently, they are all saying the same thing.
And we've done so well. Yes,
but at least, Bibi a obeye, fapping be out was at the end of the year, and the going forward, never again. Yes. See a bit me, yes, I didn't be a nipa, that's a Nibia was. So they should think again and see what they can do.
Yeah, that's it. Ran Amankwa Honorable Nicholas, homeboy. Mamintio, the UN slavery and the Kosuna.
Kojo Kamenda was na Yamama Moni Ajuma Suma Mudi, Naminchia, when you answer and then Besum Ghana through this bigger platform. Naminchia, I shall 4 year tea for Majibre. And pay almost share no mutie. Titunia this year or my constituency, Amenfis constituency. But you da make us say, Omona my friend honorable. And I don't take that one for granted. I mean, Chom. Naminchia, Yasasira was some enfima hinted to come was such motosumi, you know. When was some enfi, Nanama Tranquina, name a party, addition, your constituency chairman, you're a chairman and Nakofia Tochi. On the entire executive for Omo leadership, Omo exhibit, the branch executive coordinators, Obibia. Nakojo, and they all call me constituency. Just as Obia station or Kessben TV. Osha amount for almost stream on their own platform. So, Osha John Forsen, our pretty was a mind 360. With DJ ECG, Pakwisi, Omo stream on the various portals on my picky feed, you know. Now, my chairman Bakope, and also he is the manager of Dankwah Traders. So, I be a more share no home office, a chairman, Kroma Chom. Kodo, a news way, a Niger Magana. See the menu I can't know. A Niger Magana need beer and a say man and Niger. Even is every African, a say my Niger. Now, Kodo, significant among what happened, a year and Drani say Africa for the first time, and I see you to me, Gina, and I'm all back one. You call you vote your block, or share Caribbeans nso omo ba block e de maye na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama who share the leadership or exhibit in his second coming now. The beggar says is the reincarnation of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Because when he appeared before Parliament now or presented the State of the Nation address recently, no, Okase Nyina, even though it was the State of the Nation Ghana, but Okase Nyina said, yeah, Nyina be ya. Na ye my Africa, especially the neighboring countries, no, I see a prayer some de maomo, nyeni omo tene. Then I was very, very happy for any leadership I will show you. Me we are seeing nyina. You go John say such a platform, no. Say more into what is the music near? You better say Grammy Award. Yeah. Musician be any so I didn't want to say I'm be inviting even at the Grammy. Now share platform KCSA now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And Amoa Iran another Dankwah Kufuor two and Amo. Nenwie no ababe wie na wawie ne no. Ayese e bonabaso. It shows how Ghana no yet here. Na misua no ma me no wo mu say. Emrofo no ade aba no the woman it's worth more than money. The reason being that here mental slavery. We want to cry no wadwen cho say we o shell nko asoma yi no ade bi a eda also say indictment on you and psychologically no it has negative effect even the we bia. Too racism we are seeing nyina ti ase say woni obi define color enche say wo chen no sisi ano yade ho ene 3 ade amanage ye ne say mnofo no misua ne say mnofo no still no kojo ebimo mu yen say ye ne omo ye peda because so ye colonial masters British way they voted against, and I was very happy that in the House of Commons there was a member of Parliament who stood against Adi. He said, sir, enka ayese omutuminya platform no we debate the issue. Nanka the various representatives no omoka oman adwen. So if their president says that he's not going to support this, and yet oman adwen, and omo second deputy speaker of parliament, that's Caroline. She also supported the same thing. Like I said, hands are died a capture. Into share the end race here now a historic. Now we share Silva, that's the Brazilian president. The moment I want to say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, move this motion now, then he started rally vote so almost support. Because him so called Brazil. If you are seeing now, enjoy benefit blacks trade no, benefit blacks baby. But they don't see them as slaves. See the amount for discriminating, no. So Africa nije semaye if we are seeing nije semaye na here John Dramani Mahama, this is what a leader it's one of your duties say we so man for any bebenyam kojo dia banen so actually say Ghana nyina this time this is the leader we have so it's all going to even attract people into that country oba we are seeing Ghana has to speak we share more than 36 fonts.
Yes. I think on the coastline, yeah,
exactly. And I won't share na job be a di Johnny idea. Who call a Salaga and
a slave market.
Almost a slave market, almost 20.
A same man so
exactly, man so stretching exactly. Into women no people are coming back to trace their roots. And so tourism no a boost to a boost tourism so on say a benya forest. Emanaboa. Now I say psychologically no na yenye slave and normal bi na aba atwamko na wo hwe ye normal so a omo fafie na nanom omo de akosiesie omo ye omo what is it museum ni ade no so no we can even trace it and also yakoji ya de aba and we need to be compensated. Why do we say so? Because the moment ayaji atum say what went on no na illegal no psychologically, physically, mentally, everything no omo chitie no we need to be compensated because trade year costs were high. When they came, they incited what is it? Region against region, the Ashantis against Fantis,
back to back.
To take advantage of your normal year. Nini omo de ko. In this year no, some accept say the cost no there. We need to be compensated. Ni ehwe Africans so no, da yen koton ye ho. Dia to ye fi mu no ye behwe say we reunite as Africans because when we are able to come together ye betumi aye de ekoso outside African continent no and also na mo for no mo pese e be yesa because we have all the natural resources so yet me back together and any president obejina so yesa admia and you see them coming after him. Coming after that particular president. Look at what happened to Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Look at what happened to Gaddafi. And you name them. But when him say now we need to celebrate it. Africa need to celebrate. If we are seeing an SCS celebrating, take through any Ghana, nearby His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, on a pound for any the minister responsible for foreign affairs, for the leadership foreign ministers are Babi Briema but he stands tall. It's a case we no nya ama yourself. We any just a magana for you na yen celebrity.
Okay. All right. But I say, I mean, Charles say, answer me about a year tomatoes issues. Soon as I'll start to do Benjamin Asari on the year tomatoes issues. Soon as any day minister Rikopuku Akani na session with that one. Now, Satia Chimpeti and Traditional Council. Say, men can show say a year omo Easter homecoming no ebeba so. I don't know yen share a year dates New Year from a year Friday 3rd. I could see a year 6th of a year April Monday. No, a year Sunday in Amedini Ababe to join. You know, a year Petiansa Development Planning Committee. And I feel so a Petiansa Traditional Council say men can share a Petiansa for nyina Asante Achemfo say a Easter homecoming no baso na yetumi dia boa na fe Ultramodern Community Center no yetumi SC and also intino team that so a Petiansa citizens let us rise and build and no na daso na dwumede ni na be hyase efi a Friday the 3rd of April na a float no so na fe the health walk no so ahyehyɛ so and then on Saturday 4th of April ye be cross country games no na a ball power football gala competition because on the Saturday 4th of April and then on Sunday 5th of April 2026 the musical concert be so in sorry ni na no musical concert na for the health talk so atwa so and then Monday the 6th of April no the grand debananka say job nankasa no and beba so Petiansa Presby Park 10 a.m. sharp na the ahyehyɛ so na sponsors and na face no wa person obo bia no wa Asante Petiansa bia na wo etemenka bia so ma no ne so te Ghana memo ten kan baby bia no sponsorship no ye hian ye pa a betimi e de aboa ama e Easter homecoming no abaso eno ntino betimi afre 0244 961355 0244 961355 and as 0244 941 766 0244 941 766 na also ode atwaso amomo na Akula series papa penya Akula series the sponsorship no ashase de da ntino monya ne ntemwe na muso mo boa. And that brings me to Benjamin Asari on the issue of tomatoes and I feel so Honorable Minister Eric Opoku and government plans are or they are to honomono yendi hu enkomo pa Ben
hosem nti se Burkina Faso and take this action Kenya de Ghana yetimi atena se at least ye betena se na ya ankasa sebe ya dream ahwe kan ni ya think outside the box ni ya dia e betimi amboa wo man no. And you see minister no with all due respect okasa dodo Kopoku honorable onto ne boase because sometimes you know let your work speaks for you ma won sanu adwuma enkasa ma because what be the minister almost be say a year to a year or 3 months ni at least kama yenhu actions bi a wa start ye dada ansa na issue we kuraba kwadwo ye ka say tomatoes de na aba o don't forget to say ye kraje ne bebire free Burkina Faso nti ye no so omo ba be take action bi ansa na minister no aba be tenase aba be dwen measures a odi begu kwa mu a ye betimi anya more onions wo ma mu ha
ye fa bi fit Niger so
Niger Burkina Faso kese na ye fa free Burkina Faso
okay
nti they say ntosi no omo take action on it o omo take action on ntosi no afei ya tenase say afei na ye be irrigations ade ne aboama yetimi so what are other once na aka ne den na ministry no ye de afa ho na me me de kwadwo me kasa nya me da not in any in a negative way but me de say omo take that action na prompt ye as Ghana say yenso ye betimi a ye bi ni yenso ye di no wo mamu akra ni asa export to me nti yɛntena se asɔman yɛwɔ nsase yɛwɔ nneɛma bebree a yɛwɔ bi more than even Burkina Faso ni Niger for a yɛbɛtumi anya saa nneɛma wei num nyinaa firi Ghana ha no mu a ɛbɛma yɛn ho ahenha yɛ na millions of dollars a yɛde kɔ aman so kɔ kra saa nneɛma no aka wɔ man mu ha na tumi ama yɛ economy na yɛ strong nti yɛbɛsrɛ minister onka na no ntum na wonya saa adwuma no ma PR department no na wɔnyɛ na wɔntena se no wɔmfa concrete measures productive measures a ebetimi aboa Ghana ama Ghana etimi agina ne na so when it comes to tea tomatoes and other crops a ye bre wo mamu a because ya je ne ho na ye kokum mema mi ensan yo sanai wo Cote d'Ivoire Burkina Faso na say Burkina Faso ko hwe nnuma a oye woni kurom ennuma a oye woni kurom o meye ho ba bia ba Burkina Faso atimi take decision aka kire ye say efiri na ekro or add value to ono ne tomatoes na oye woni kurom no na wo wia na wo a wo pe no na wo ba beto na Ghana yete ha na yesu say ade na Burkina Faso take such a decision on us say ye or add value to ono ne de no na ye ba beto abra ye wo fertile lands bebia ye betimi aye. So I'm happy for the first time that actually be from Burkina Faso aprom to yen say ye bibi papa bi once at the more minor near to me koyenim enti me de say could Burkina Faso I take such decision na etimi prompt to ya me atenase near to me adwin say ye bibi na ma enso ti tomatoes no nko ye wo onions ye kra me ne wo ka say ada Burkina Faso kura no mete say ne yesi plantain nyina say ye kra bi firi wono mo de ba how enti ye besre minister no we prompt to ye na amano na adwuma na ye tough say ese so start no ye bibi because or the nadwi kosi koko so a ogufu big time Emma 6,000, 7,000. I feel dropping the buy no more assessment no more no more can be before. Say the ball is in your court. Jane as tomatoes as semwaba. Ma won need tomatoes no nko because one real obedien no nko be wie no na onions so aba. Afen na no obetena se adwen no. Won ni nyina mom na won hu se eniema bi a ye kra no dodoɔ ɛwɔ amano ne bia no. Ye betimi aye dodoɔ na wɔ mamu ha. Emire bi lecture baako kan asem kire ye say sa eniema no nyese Ghana ye ntimi nyo omo a omo import sa eniema ne ba no eye cartel omo ba be hu ministers ni other people no na kire say eniema a omo no pese omo ye omamu ha no na omo agyan because omo kra eniema no dodo ba wo na wo ye in charge minister na wo ye in charge no ana president no oteso no omo timi ba be hye wafum na kire say sa de na omo kra de ba no munye bi wo omamu a because odwe hu a won ti ase say ye wo land I betimi aduamo na ye kramo every year biano almost 120 billion dollars I de kra emo e de ba o mamu ha miwa ye wo lands I betimi aduamo nti ye betena hono ama decisions bi countries bi take decisions ansana ye ya tenase adwene se ye bibi ma ye ho ana nti ye besere ye wura president we go beyond minister no because ye de adwuma na hye ne nsa no ono nso kasa no o se ye behia fund ye problem sikasem enye ministry of agric no nye ono na generate sika obetimi anya fine ideas ni nyina de aba na emom no se priority na ankoso na ya anya adwen se saade we wo man na giatum president na giatum ashe finance minister se sika bia ministry ni hia bia no momfa ma wo no momfa nya sa adwuma no na ye tena ho a obenya technical teams ni nyina be draw plans ni nyina to oba sika e de be adwuma no eni ho because your priority ni ho nti ye best president onfa nani nko ho na nye tomatoes no nko a onions e wo ho ene pepper mako nyina ye kra na Ghana den ye betimi ayema ye ho biem
kako
chese eden ye betimi ayema ye ho ene wo kwa ye se ye the 720 million dollars e kokokra ole ene yes ye friend taw yamade o ni akra 720 million dollars e de akokra yamade no wole the abo member. Just say, I have rewusem. Your best re.
It yare
$720 million.
Yare guyam.
Yet the Ari will lend a tau. And teachers say Ghana Hano. Yan Casano, even though in Sumunammonia and Adrenia Dena, and one who didn't say Yatuni in Egu because we learn on nene tau now Mokan was an airful. Now, woman says, half for na yet on them, and on their build will be economy, and money economy in economy. And the antennacy, the politics, you know, and they are by Yenya politics. We are all facing the fact to say, at least for the first time, and say, ye be my home, because Burkina Faso, actually, a quino, and to my fee, I drink could see tomatoes on other ones are canina, young bedo on it, near receive a bit me a bibia, a beboa man on the
all right, but I say, Bayport Financial Services, I mean, control say, almost fix deposit no mukuso, a young ejuma, and into no 1% we have fixed deposit in Ibiano, as a fatasel said, only a Bayport Financial Services for Ekodi and Komo, Omo ye Bosumi and Sandy Bosumi in Siena Fesa Feba Kodi Ewa Honum with attractive returns that were you see cannons of 5,000 and beyond in an obetimia bania ye a year or fixed deposit in Ibi amount. Bayport Financial Services has come to stay and they've stand the test of time. And into them, Yadentewe now no more Enkodi and Komo na a year almost fixed deposit in Ibi. Fre Ora Bonnie or no na penny or that a year Bayport Financial Services are no now we know ND and Komo 0245 153283 0245 153283 and I'm for 026 300 7922 026 300 7922. Now, when they a Bayport Financial Services for ND and Komo. The Honorable Nicholas Amankwa, my mean to you on this one because clearly I'll come back to you, Ben, on this matter of subsequent governments and I mean governments have really failed us when it comes to a agri-cana. We've heard of dams upon dams. We've heard of too many things wanting to help a Greek sector and I feel someone be and phony in a bit me we didn't see anything yet monies were devoted for some of these things to be done. Honorable Mamintio
yo Kojo Menda wasibiem na me fanfi baby a me nua ifi isi ye Kojo edika na so man no ayasi agitu mu se Ghana baby edu no resetting agenda and we all come together to support this agenda. Because this yenji tumu say baby ani ewo efi party A party B no yen nyina no yentumi anye sidie oman ne pe. Now Anamo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to no unique we need to support him. Yura Eriko Poku, the minister responsible for agric oba obon homodin papa. Ojo unse Yura Mahama launch be a friend Feed Ghana ya launch program bebre. Feed Ghana yadea ye targeted beans a bro and money yadea buying a best support so a buying will provide beans was support you no wama extension officers na share near duane we are a buying so assign hanse the buffer stock wama musika ema a buying ato omoduane no na policy crab bandia bane say free SHS feeding so no yemfa yen local rice na e grow no emfa mom see the ombenya already market and na motivate Ghana for bebre. Recently just after the Sona or before the Sona the former minister responsible for defense Yeranitu Kojo so ka say ono crowd o bro bebre ma na bro na ba manaka dem because of price. And in economics, eduani biya ne bua affect price but present assure mo say the government is going to take care of that. Recently, not long ago, last week, president was in our front plains. Our lunch program be farmer service center. Farmer service center no go do the organ and you 50 farmer service centers. You didn't feed ibeguma bina na fa. You didn't ply land na akade bi ese de makuafo no ye de amom no matumi de adua omunyuma no extension officers be support omo training of farmers ewo aduane omo pese omo dua na aboa na Kojo yewra opoko bae no wo hwe nkokon nketenkete initiative a eba na be boost si de na wo kan yamade ho ade wo hwe nkokon so aye kraba krom ha Kojo no so nya agro nkoko nkiti program ye share boy in manifesto no ye two one more is going to prevent or minimize the rate at which ayede nkoko force ni fi amanone ba ono nyina aboa ma adwuma ba wie nso aye forest na tumi aboa ma yesidi no astable Kojo oban ye ntosi unsema ye start call Burkina nyende we ye start call Burkina na nyende ena de esi ye nso no ye koso ma abusuafo nyina ayako penfo se me kope bibia bedi ene me be den ene nam se wo ma no papa be craft fie se o kwakwa ye adwuma disika be hwe abusua na trenche mbeto no na eba ye nso wo hwe His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ndi Samayoko anamo ayetu a Kojo yen Ghana for no many a time no ye ka se ade bi ensi a yentu anamo nti de yen se de atu yen hwe se bi metu ye biem. And this debate needs to start with Parliament because aban bebia na aban ye continuous na aban kan asem na odi so dia na ka wo hwe anamo a yewura anado Dankwah Akufo na yewura baomia ma yewura baomia kotena eye asempa abra na oni obi etino na ebusa ne se mobile wa esro mantem like northern region dwumadie ben pa na wadi abetumi a pride ho as a nod na when you can be vice president oka say Poalugudam akojo aban no na botel won say Poalugudam no mo be ya na e be ya irrigation system a ye de bedua into su ye nam so ma manfo akogu Burkina yi tie fan say NDC part 1 anye part 2 anye na do mo de show commitment at the $12 million kojo so mo de ba be ya irrigation system Poalugudam Okonko busa say blog ba kumpuda. Where did the money go? Na obusa questions. Sa ban ba ye inject sika e wo no mamu en resource no ye de en. Nti say Poalugudam no mo ye na ekodu ba bi a. Enka yera John Dramani Mahama ba say government e ye nto aso ni ti no. Enka ye kobo foundation. Enka yera Kopoku ba ye no 1 year down the line no. Enka Kojo ya to aso ma ka e bi ye wie. Si enwie yimpo na nkomo we ya ba. Ekaminu ya bekasa no say ye de jawa na ye de aso nti yetu anamo de $12 million ye Poalugudam eye Ghana sika nti watena wa ye hwe ha wanye ene e ma mmako wuo eye Burkina abro mo koto nto sa abade ye bebo otri so ma ye nu ye kasai Poalugudam $12 million no ahye ni nyina ye nto so nkomo bo hye o mo hye no nti ewura Kopoku e bobo na baso say ban na say responsible minister no wama eye guidelines Wama abina ni suade hu. What are we going to do to solve a problem here with me? Mini aka ana na Ghana ya wasa ase bebre na ekra jeni. Ghana ya wasa ase bebre na ekra ntos. Enye no nko eno ma bebre no ye betumi aye ho adwuma. Eno nti na minister no what line de ya. See the esi na bi nsi bi owie no. Osan ka say financing the man was rare. Kojo Preko was rare to Ghanaians. Financing this project no it comes with a huge cost. But abaya wanya abaya ono so ye committed to the development of the people. Ni enim se nye ntosu nko a enye jene nko a eye enuane sem beboa ni ntino ono so show said the whole say obaboa na minister na ni suade hu na bem na obaya great sector na Kojo yetumi developing ye ni ani suade hu say feed Ghana no ye nye moa no ya aduane na create employment opportunity for the teeming youth no mo nya dwuma ye na sika your money aye say import driven economy no yesu yetumi adibi na yetumi export bi na Ghana kɔ nanim saa ne ye koko nsɛm a ɛyɛ yɛkɔ challenge musisi a na do Dankwah Akufo ado ma breso Kojo syndicated loan ebe kro manyende but emra omobobo si omuntumi ntua emra omokɔji koko scarce de omo de omuntumi nye emra wet market price FOB price omokoton maku a 40% no eno na emra ye campaign no ye ka che omo say as at that particular time because a finance minister or year Samijemfi a year to force omo me constituency pe wako omo say emra ye gina hey say ye end this near waso a ene yakoton koko amanonia enka kwani no enka bema mo 70% of the FOB price satem no Kojo enka bema 6,000 Ghana cedis
yes at time no
as at that time ye communication no so we can from community and I buy because when you go to our manifesto page 24 yes also stating categorically say we are going to give the cocoa farmer 70% of the FOB price. Me abet me will say the laptops and the machine can say opposition swagger on the abet me I go say as at the world market price now are we giving the farmers 70% or more than 70%? Because we are giving them more than 70%. And one thing I want to say, Ghana force why a cocoa the Cote d'Ivoire no. Nini na mu no yesi no enye bo share mu world market na aba na sa yentumi nye isi de Burkina de aben nti ye de hye papa aba parliament emi ye de mra aba se aban bi oba bibia akoton a wonye ne se yera ba omiane na na adode ni bia omo koton a na omo chemu miensa aban na famienu no amakuani ni ba ko no eye se kuani ni nyamu mienu ni kakra eye 70% eye mra na wo yesu amamo free fertilizer na kuani na di yie na ekoton anya bia tete mra no. This is governance. Ye wi akwadwo the raw beans na da bia yeti cocoa na na share bag na ye de ko no ye nye ne sabie 50% of the beans ye de be wo krom ha ya dani ani dia ye million chocolate. When you add value to the cocoa na ye de kwa mono ne ye benya forest na aboa e be san so ama adwuma be kroma e magana mabunu so anya adwuma ye enhyehyɛ papa sinti kwadwo wonam no bi kasa ban papa ba no abusa ne se mu chefa wanya ne de e bia na ono de odi dwa nti ne dollar na ye yama no e bia na ono de ototo no ma nti inflation na about 3.3 ye yama no e bia na ono de o ye student no ko school a abandada na breast no ne bia ne ye ne den and the free sh sisi onya bia ne di nti ne waton e bia na big push kwan e fa ne constituency into anya kwan papa me no ka se Kojo Yera John Dramani Mahama oba yo she me boss of mama teacher training college Kojo o come constituency a teacher training college Yera Mahama shebo no e kosu sisi a e wa Memphis constituency enti ntoso nsem na aba no me wie no eye mobo se Ghana ni ko okope bibia ba na o mafie e yade asi ye mfa nya man sense ne na me nua aka no unso no aye no se sebe om sikitire jama ejanan otwa ho na no de asoto enti ye mfa nya man se let's come together yentumi anye come together today ye mmoa na emre twam na se NDC ne power mpa MPP ba this challenge na anko biem na nkwankwa se po alugudie ya ye ba ya $12 million ye rabawmia ye hu de omo de ye na ya build a better Ghana.
Okay, all right. But as this one says that I am Holali Dela. Holali Dela is a correspondent for us Kessben Media OT region. Or say Brakojo, come to OT region and see mangoes are rotting for free. No processing factories. A lot of products are going waste here due to inadequate processing factories. This is sad. And this one Tete from Sunyani says that we should be ashamed of ourselves as Ghanaians, especially our leaders. God has blessed us with a fertile land for tomato farming, but our leaders don't pay attention to pay attention on farming. In Ghana, if you're a farmer, Ghanaians treat you like ordinary person. My regards to Geoffrey Kwatin Brobe, then coming Bono regional youth organizer, and then John Boedu, then coming national chairman. We Tete from Sunyane and Odiwe by this one says good on Mr. Host. NDC is far better than MPP. They only think about themselves while NDC thinks about Ghanaians. Anything bad that is happening now, we'll sort it out very soon. Julius Agaho Wabwasi Tutuka and Ode Ebaye. And this one says that okay, I'll read this one. Blah 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 blah. Okay, my name is Linda. I want to ask a question, please. Till when will the NDC stop blaming the past government? Almost 2 years in government, and each and every day they will continue to blame the past government. This one is from Linda. He's asking a question. Maybe sure so okay.
Yes. Honorable, maybe push politics. Oh, now born come on, but I have a lot of respect for MPs because to become an MP ain't easy
at all.
So anytime I make sure MP biano, my level of respect no. It was 3 years past. Because me say any homeboy net. The new guys me say no. But homeboy MP na Okampo Lugu dam wasem.
Yes.
And ultimately say be 3 days in a back conversation aba media no so aye discuss pa and so here me kura mensem City News omode report on by 23rd March na ahwe asem a o kan o say energy minister o say Pualugu Dam contractor was not paid energy minister. And the same thing Oko Joy News 23rd or say the minister allude to the fact that Pualugu Dam was not paid. This is Joy News. So Honorable Bettina Hano said I need my date in the same. We city 23rd March 2026. We city news. Memfa join so the enchire
was not paid.
Was not paid. And he's reiterating the same thing here. Say $12 million was paid. So which is which?
But when a year campaign costono, I think the presidential candidate for the MPP Ura
energy minister na kan opposition where you Joy News. Joy DN or say you will account for $12 million pumped into non-existing Pualugu Dam. Minister will know a committee member energy sector parliament. Some minister some more can you and the minister can win so or say Pualugu Dam no nothing was paid. So say then on some more can you na make me yimienu na ma just all catch them say media for no monsam na yentro. Nipa so apart from that no me woni video wa aye busa no assurance committee a obi na no kae say yentua 1 Ghana cedi nti show boy homeboy $12 million na wo kan ho asem e wo hemfa me pa chewo Ghana sika yenni ne kwa enhye kwa nti so okra wo ba se sika na hia medi wo ya na che se resetting agenda na mo de buy sebe o na che se mo bebo apo kire Ghana fo because Ghana sika bi eni wono mo a ense se hye kwa nti se wo be responsible say almost $12 million ye de akwa akoshe Pualugu Dam na say ya anya duma can't we hold those person responsible yetimi nyi yesika back ye betimi agisika no back but the minister I report to parliament say sika no ye ntua nti say when na ka no kore is it the same minister who opposition was he yetua and the same minister so can be before frana and central for you educate, entertain and inform meboa mo adwuma no enti anytime bia meba media no so bia no me research no afiri mo ho na eba because mo na mo entertain na mo inform na mo educate enti se mo asem amoka na eno na ye hwe na ye ba na se nya no kra dia then o man ne ye kwa hemfa okay mesre but oh yes you can fast check and it's not out of way they bet me can one and secondly
okay sorry Ben
oh open so bisa
and let me bisa question be alongside with the Pualugu thing and can one has to do with Ora Dr. Baumia who had said that one of the best things they've done for the northern region has to do with the Pualugu Dam. So that conflicts there. On one breath, the presidential candidate said that they've done very good something with the north, and that has to do with the Pualugu. Then we are coming back again to also hear that same Pualugu, the construction or whatever it is that was supposed to be done, monies were not paid.
Matthias, the whole Pualugu Dam, it was it was $120 million projects.
Okay.
So initially, no more say started with 11.99 something million dollars. And almost started at the ama contract and on way juma. Meboa. Sata numuano and I raba umiako asempa. And one interview no say the best project.
Yes.
You bet me at the ancestry so. Say yeah hu adwuma ewo no for no Pualugu Dam. So he was not emphatic say ya started ya adwuma no atua sa amount no, and even though when you are doing feasibility studies kura or such project kura na enye small job what I say but me problem ne say must almost $12 million ya tua ma contractor adwuma bia nkoso. And yes, I net here. And now we buy a call assurance committee on our free parliament. Enti masem ya making sebe o me nko take anything from sebe cardboard and I say zongo ho na make so parliament and I don't know even if so committee no sokra dey aminim but oni sokra na or preview or that preview to that information or parliament. Enti mesre se minister na sebe ne o ka no oma yenhu sika ne yetua o se yentua minua me MP nso se yetua na chese mente ase ye me MP sa kan bibi fa gold asem ho koko in fact koko asem de ya ma wo mo nka biem because ye nim guase a wo mo de ama wo mo ho ene NDC aban.
Okay, so
because
sorry, we're sorry.
No problem. No problem.
We're still doing fast checks, but I've done something here. Wednesday, 25th of March, 2026. Headlines from Ghana Web, and it says that how Palugu Dam contractor ran away with $12 million payment. Jinapo details, and then he said that the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Dr. Abdullahi Jinapo, has clarified that the contractor for the Palugu Dam was paid. However, the contractor, according to him, absconded after the money had been paid. He explained that the ministry is currently investigating the matter, making this clarification after his appearance before the Government Assurance Committee on March 20th, 2026. Jinapo said, and I quote, "My attention has been drawn to a publication circulating on some social media handles with the headline, Palugu Dam contractor was not paid, Energy Minister reveals, which has been falsely attributed to remarks I allegedly made during my appearance before the Government Assurance Committee in Parliament. I wish to state in the clearest possible terms that this publication is entirely false, misleading, and a gross misrepresentation of the facts."
So, you read here from here.
Ghana Web. Ghana Web, yes.
And I mention me kai from city.
Yes.
So, nimi no dia he na no crazy ya Kojo.
We March 2026.
And I remember the 23rd March
2026. And we buy and we buy and
Ghana Web. Update near Minister Kaya na.
Yes.
Because Minister there was on video.
And video na be say me
send the amount. Me number na send the video number because you see sometimes we should be fair to the minister and everyone because video no can say no money was paid. Was that information now or refer to Palugu Dam na say bibi foforo?
Okay, yes. Yes.
What in American say? Because he said they said no money was paid. What I say, and that question was put in by Nitiwood and Wobusa and Assassin. So maybe I'm choosing my words carefully. Maybe it was a different question. And Wobusa no answer. No money was paid. Yeah. Then you should come and clarify it. Send you benya the bottom of this matter because media. Information and
clarify. This was 23rd.
No, 25th of March.
What you just read was 23rd, and what Kojo just read is 26th. Was it 25th or something?
25th.
So 25th. Yeah. So this came. What Kojo read, it came to correct the misconception.
No. I bet to differ kakra. Honorable. Woman in media houses.
Yeah.
So I expect Kojo maybe to call the minister or to call a PR person. Oh, that's
the fact.
Yes, information be a Ghana Web D2 indeed information from the minister.
Okay.
What I say, and yes, idea. We have two stories.
Yeah.
And which one to no problem.
But you touch on the cocoa.
Yeah, no cocoa.
You touch on the
yes,
cocoa.
Because okay, cocoa asem.
Yes.
And ocean tremua or the buy say Abraham no more opposition no. Asem wo mo ka kire Ghana for and wo mo de kakra na ni bie no ye cocoa farmer ko beto abade amount. Say oba say price no world market price ni gina baby gina na dia. Obema 6,000 to 7,000. Mini asa no mkan. Enye sa na mkan. Even though let me admit here, me admit say homeboy. O kan no kore. Sa na o kan here. O buy here no. Na dollar cocoa no price na ye $12. Meboa. Ewo drama so. O buy here na te buy $11. And the buy ya be do $10,000. Meboa. $10,000 say what can say what the 70% no makuyani na abra na ye $10,000 no na chese cocoa na ese ye ton wo Ghana hanom no 8,000 Ghana cedis 8,500 Ghana cedis nti wo ka say wo beto 70% price na wo promise say cocoa farmer no e wo opposition ka cocoa no that time no ka beto no 5,300 Ghana cedis with the 70% na wo ka ho asem sesi ya no cocoa no so te ba afem no na ka ese wo tokuyani no cocoa no one bag no 5,300 ba wo to cocoa kuyani ni sika no eye 3,220 because on buy no the next into more on the buy no was 120 Ghana cedis and what the two mu and no be announce so eye price our de beto season no eye 3,625 thinking satam on now so no na price near $8,000 per ton $8,000 and we be announce so eye 3,625 enti no obi a gitum say waba be announce 3,625 and kwadwo unim so o mamu ha no local act ekuyafo anasa Ghana workers yenti wo market to aso so unim sa ida e remain hwa anasa obetum enti kokofo price a president bie na no kae no eye contract between Ghana government and cocoa farmers so we beto o mu cocoa no 3,625 enti won teso esese wo ma ne ka ho anasa wontum na se waba na yati cocoa no so a wo see because of yati cocoa no so ntino from 3,625 what tikuyani ni sika no so about 2,500
okay
is it not wickedness
Kojo yedi cocoa nkoma na
so me person me tell me MP say ono show homeboy and some ni bi wo ho no makofo akuyafo no omu di yawo
okay
omo nkan sem o beto omo akoma so dan say omo justify say cocoa kuyani ni deserve 2,500 Ghana cedis
okay
e basa na wo ha cocoa kuyani no because last one na me cocoa kuyani no oso okobo obosia and we dey ye no cocoa no enti onim bosia na okobo no o dey 3,625 and a year budget okoje bosia ni wie ni abeto no cocoa na yes one bag ye be ma no 2,500 kwajo is it fair is it fair?
My name is Beatrice. Please tell MP for Amenfi East homeboy that he's very handsome. Hey. God bless.
Me say handsome homeboy.
Yeah, God bless him for serving his people. On the other band, and this one says the NECMP is top-notch communicator. Is he the one his MC is fighting so hard to unseat him? I work in Ayamfuri. He is a good man, so down to earth. God bless you, Kessben TV. Ejare Atase and Ediwe Ebaye. And this one is the MPP man is talking the truth. He should go and ask Dr. Bawumia about the damn years in government where were they able to do it. He is not truthful person. My name is Kojo Preko Dankwah. I'm watching you live and on the way by. And this one says that good morning. Please tell the MPP man to listen to the response Mr. Jinapo gave to Mr. Nitiwo. Mr. Jinapo said $12 million was paid to contractor and he has voted with the money. From George Kofrodia, it's a jandam by City News and Joy News and by and then this one says please please, what is our government doing about our people who were killed in Burkina Faso? I mean the tomato buyers. If they don't want us to buy their tomatoes, why should we allow them to buy timber from Ghana? Wow, that's a good also idea bapa also ebedi enkomo yepa. Now fi the issue of the big push. And then the hospital matters, atwa so masisia. Mami we says and a happy birthday to Sergeant Kennedy Bambwedi. This one is from DCOP and Mrs. Owusu Bempa. Okay, so happy birthday to Sergeant Kennedy Bambwedi. This one is from DCOP, Mr. and Mrs. Owusu Bempa. Happy birthday to you. And then a happy birthday to Agnes Chumwa, businesswoman at Echuma Ekropon. Happy birthday to you. And then a happy birthday to Fobi Na Yatama Zanlarabia. This one is from your mother, Adole Charity. happy birthday to you. And then a happy birthday to Mami Esi Glover. Obido, happy birthday to you. Sweetness, happy birthday to you, Mami Esi Glover. Obido. And then a happy birthday to Otnell Ahiali. This one is from your siblings. Happy birthday to you. And then a happy birthday to Noah Owusu Setro of Achimota Presby. This one is from Osepenkani Samson. Happy birthday to you. And then a happy birthday to my lovely wife, Mrs. Stephanie Oponboate. This one is from Sir Prince. And then a happy birthday to Jaden Echampo Otre, a student of Ellen White APS Nesri Asante Mampong. Happy birthday to you. And then a happy birthday to Perpetua Nyako, a student at Esinman Nursing and Midwifery Training College at Asinfusu. Happy birthday to you. And it is 9:45 in the studios of Air Kessben 92.9. And I feel so Air Kessben TV on DSTV channel 364. And then on Go TV Air channel 121. Redeem at the Mansan Son for Kojo Preko Dankwah. Honorable,
yeah, Kojo wedi amendasi. Kojo koko hunsem o share NDC amayoko ye gidi se ekuafo ne Ghana fo ne to abama enti utie even President Mahama when he came to parliament in the presentation of the Sona no o kase we a hard decision na o take into Australia for 7 fanche. Na menu mention figure say you buy any ton 8,000 what is it per metric ton near there no Kojo, that can never be the truth. Kojo you buy the wet market, the biggest price ever I enjoy was within December 2024. That was $12,906 per metric ton. When him say ton on see 16 bucks. 16 bucks they make it a ton. So when you divide it and say come ma ekuafo FOB price na and na area to forcing near area erikopoku mo kase esen come ekuafo 7,000 6,000 as at that time. Kojo you buy 2025 cocoa price and core 8,000 metric ton. Break down in Kojo. Aye 2025. Aye cocoa price at the FOB world market na 7,788.27 per metric ton. Average annual no. Over 2024 na 3,258.04 per metric ton. Over 2023 na drop it by 2,326.40. 2022 now 2,425. So we share a bra year kuyanima NDC befa benja no. The highest we've ever enjoyed no is 7,788. Kojo 7,788 divided by 16. Yen fire dollar rate ni crown call yera Mahama buy call 11 no. Or multiply now on strike 16 bucks now. Kojo enunti na buy ne say yesre kuafo. Ye ne mo ni nchiremu bia ye pamacho ebo na ba form munji we ma yen na ebo dada na ne ton 3,600 ne de ebetu amamu. Na mo de foforo ko akoton a ene amamu 2,500. Kojo ye ne Burkina say asem sisi aso yenko Cote d'Ivoire sisi a Cote d'Ivoire wi asi nyina eni omo na ye koko won adwuma pa almost so ton bag no 1,008 recently come reduce in about 1,000 3,002 Ghana the no see 2,005 which is almost 700 what is it difference enti Kojo abana ye bi enu nti na hwe yenu anom akua MPP form so omo ko koko for in change no mu fi wa de omo kan say when NDC was leaving office Kojo, we left them a positive equity of 1.8 billion Ghana cedis. Abraham PP inherited power and they left us Kojo a negative equity of 32 billion Ghana cedis a year. PBC they collapsed it. When you come to my constituency, Cocoa Rose. What's that? Make Cocoa as my name, my brother. Only say the former Cocoa Boss CEO comes from my area. Edu. He comes from my constituency. Akrati fieti. Enti me kan ho asema na me. But dem kon Kojo. Cocoa Rose. Enti dem mo de jaku afo no. Omo hu ye. Enu nti na omo to abate amo. Ya bai be hwe ne ya ne ye. Na akuafo hwe Kojo se kwani ne to ni cocoa na. Ne rare income ene de yen. O rare income Kojo so aje o salary no. Na obekojo no normal obetumi ato no. Na your rare income. kweni no wabress na oto koko na wabu ne kura wie no okwa koto iron rods. A ton of iron rods was 9,600. Under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the same 1 ton of iron rods is going for 6,600. Cement now no ton 120 no. Cement about 90, 80, 70 depend on area where you know. Nancy Kojo, you see about Papa Ba, one Kojo ma uhu. Last 2 years, you know Muslim for the festival me koto esichiri me ton 8 million. 2024 yeah. Last week I me koto 3.2. Brown sugar nimpo there 3.2 and a white one here 3.4. Rice are near ton 600 500 we no and a rice about 280 300. Inti ye kwenina akoto ni koko na we no the rain income no the kojoma aban papa ba ne ho ton. All said and done. You see, it's a wet market born costra. You be more. So if you are giving them 70% of the price, now gonna buy crab boka. But and I'm say, yep, shake we are funny boss. You be more 2 times 500. It's the reason why we are not deviating from the price.
Okay.
Into Kojo a ban koko nsema. Yanka see a perfect. By boy who more than show on the Pualugu issue. Kojo Pualugu Dam no, it's a fact. Established fact that money was injected into Pualugu. It was 11.99 into approximately $12 million. As a Kojo call cry assassin fua yera ba omunyam admit here. What's the minister responsible for air energy? Yera John Jinapo no refer say contractor no ejiska no on a broad you consider Bamus. Wejane, so you go for that contractor. What's the name you can be say? As a responsible government, I bet to so be a idea sadia. Ade yenchine. Yes, Yera Mahama can say Mran yem pre and 1 year. And Mran de way Mrabe do biano and Kakran Krebedu. Nemo motion ye chobin swa. Man contraction from Oyoko. Okay. I'm saying Kojo Matwaso and answer.
Me want to also with a big push in 2 minutes on that because they say I'm also mamba and I'm also more your friend is saying so sourcing a more yes I de mo kan MPP vocal kind of more can oneself. Whenever I see homeboy, I feel okay. He's so calm and gentle. He must reward his PA because he made me fell in love with them. They are so cool and they are very listening. Abigail, Jemfi, Wasa, Eduso, and Ediwe Ebaye. I'm saying, honorable, guess or no. Honorable, I believe you have seen a trip of chippings, some cement blocks and some sand at Palugu Dam site. The site was overgrown with weeds. This means that there was no activities there at all. Tell the MPP man that Dr. Kwame Nkrumah reduced cocoa price for the first time in 1962. This one is Louis from Dabala and Odiwe Ebaye. Honorable, I'm so saying.
Onim say it's a member, the ranking member on Rose Committee, area, the MPP member. I just forgotten the name. Mitieno Andrea, and now me call One Network. Na manage MPP. Ayom alarm ma raising in and say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba chimba no. Oba cancel na no. O cancel source in once. But now o kase ye question or de ma ya ban ye de aba. No she bosse e no ma bia na nado dankwa ye wura kufuado ne ba omiamu ye no nya de baby Kojo oba PPA actor so sourcing no enye bone. Section 41 gives room for so sourcing, but the only say Kojo so sourcing on kwa your contract in 100% so sourcing ye buy no Kojo out of 507 as a minister can be review. When I'm seeing you an MP for Kojo and Prehunti and they say assembly and na assembly mra into omo yard and they don't even get their facts right. Omo baba can see a rose no 107 and omo indicates here so source and the minister said no road no ochichemu ya road no 507 without ya 400 according to competitive tendering obako you so sourcing single source competitive building a for processing. There are some of the projects so I have betoye Kojo et say Ofanko road at the concert na contractor were quite so Kojo they went and sought for $200 million for that project. You buy the project no more you buy nesi kanasa and now see Yera Mahama kokan once a month sensu and so beka ya Yera ato force in by it and say then go and refund the rest near fanya kwan no inti contractor no kwan so that say you can see a jani akwa competitive building na anya de beboa so why don't we so source to the same contractor no nya adwuma no kwadwo ni ukọ eye kasoa e de call what is it Winiba ɛkɔ Western Region Road na contractor wɔ so ɛbɛto ye bɛɛ no scanner mo de ma no nasa si ekasi ye jana free so na yakoye compatible na ɛbɛyɛ wei into the same contract no ye package ma the same contractor ni so ma no nye adwuma no na enko so na the same road ne so no for the roads ye be wie ni ntem ti no kwadwo ye ma be 4 contractors go the same stretch see the may say one contractor no akogina kwan ne so ache into na capture roads we mu nyina ekɔ under big push it's almost 23 roads into so no ade a ye wura nyako. There's a ranking on
Kennedy.
Kennedy. Exactly. Yes. He spoke very well. Okasa se Ghana ni ba o parliament a onim emra. The omo kan kwajo, omo nkase obi ediska o. But the omo kan se ye kase ye ba ye so sourcing. Yura Muhammad never said that. Ye say Rose aya ekwan bi e be ne mani nyina nko ye so sourcing. Na kwajo hwa Rose eye ba 507 eye ayama no. Almost 38% in a so 38 in a so sourcing. So yeah, there 100%, not 38 yeah, which is almost 62% in a competitive. Yada masi, someone raises our alarm no. Yabeshe na de yaku yanimu no. Say yes, a single source ne beye, so source ne beye. Yes, a competitive build ne beye. No mom, someone who say beer. Jumu die bia koso dia then you have every right someone beka near di unkomo but you are John Dramani Mahama memwo no you are won share the sector minister responsible for roads and highway you are governor Abuja you mo ya ne so nyenu no before say so mo anyi bibi no omo ja kwan ne mane kwa kwajo ofanko eso ayefe takrade winiba ekota contractor woso uko Kumasi Express Road ye ba beye Swami Interchange into so man ka bibi pe na koso sana 2028 ebe dia mo na ebe din pa enu ti na omo ye de omo na kwajo aye roads de me fama no so oba me constituency a aban na mo several roads a ye under reshaping ye nuanu mu jedua recently me say issues be about the drip machine but the road is under contract adansi to jedua it's a contractor de machine ba no ba beye ono nya drip kwan enti de aba bia no contractor na make sure say obey road no na why nie no dey amaye
all right but as Raben maminti o na fi pampon yes sir
are husemu
aden
omaya e wo mu why na e ma ye ti ase se su source e bone wo krum a why mo na ma ye ti ase ye ti hey se na e wo ye mrem se ye betimi aye so source meboa why na ma ye ti ase wo Ghana ha se so source no kra na e ye bone e ye demonic iniquity ye to aso wo mamu a why na kai the one who come with equity must come with clean hands wo se enye na me wo video bi wa ha abrakwa o se omo di ase omo manifesto mu se omo be amende sa act na so source no kra no omo atwamu ayi afiri wo mamu a ye nhyehyɛ ye kro omo ayi afiri until we were not expecting them say omo aba ban mu no ade a omo ka say enye no omo be ye bimpo because you are president ejina simpie so ka say eye avenue a ya create a ye di create ye di wia oman no ama na ado Dankwah akufu ado ne family and friends kwadwe me note ye eso oman mu ha omo sere a omo anije e wo krom ha eye yewura mahama ene ne family
machine se gu animi
because enkwale esu empanimfo osu a teacher fo osu nurse fo osu workers fo osu say oman ni mu aye den ama me ne wo ka say electricity a omo ba ya omo ka ho asem no ya to electricity mu by 28%, ya to water mu by 15.9%, enra mu sister station UTV echo shop a amanfo nam coasters amanfo nam a omo yegu abonten a dum so asaba ase wo nam. This is the government or promises or baba ye resetting enti enema bi e koso wa the MPP bia na enye bia no or baba ye enema different na waba ene wutimi kuku contract na wo de ma abamu ni a wono ye minister aye o ya appoint a na yewura John Dramani Mahama appoint no wonya bidi dada o because ya appoint who say we deputy chief of staff yetua wo ka enti wo no wonya bidi dada na wo deputy chief of staff was CEO su nyina hye wase ni ye ka contract asem a osimi pebi na CEO no wa no a obeka kire wo say sa contract no mfa ma wo and na inse so obeye so source no koye restriction tender and wo de nipa be tu bi ka ho and wo de contract no ama deputy chief of staff wo mamu ha o enti wo te ha enaka eye abuginapo eye deputy chief of staff ene ye contract ho adwuma e wo koko board ana go board ena wo te se wakwa akwaje contractor keden na menua no mandisi beka wo mamu a keden no mbeka ekoye omo check contract ne mo ho no de omo say you okay god there is nothing wrong with it emra na wo ye constitution no emma kwai se nipa ne ye sa adwuma no na okoto de ne bodwe nyanya ntre de omfa no nko wo de beto wo no wo se wo de ande emra no efi bi enim ba wo opposition no wo ka kire ye se eyade a enye ni kwase ye soso Uba ya the same thing now complaining about no the same thing now ye so resetting now can want some no wait
I don't know ye kwan
resetting now can want some e won ye fa adie bia wo betu ye bia me no ka say o sa kan sem bi me this year no o say inflation aba 3.something%. It's a fact inti ka inflation aba fem no o ba beje akonwa no ye 2024 no sa pen we na me to no 2 cedis a ida say sa pen no e be gina 2 cedi hwa ana say e be ba fem ba tonye sa nete nti wo ba beje akonwa no na milk I did milk ni to no 9 cedi 30 pesos 9 cedi 30 pesos sa time no na inflation ya 23%. And then inflation about 3.3%, and then milk and you turn to 12 cedis.
I mean, all the other turn 12 cedis. That's a my bread.
12. Okay. So you see, no problem. You see, on there, or this cement. My patron saw this cement. Yeah, some wise is here. Cement. Oba greater Accra, you turn to 90 cedis. Oba mikuro mu yamuasi, you turn to 110. And so now better hano what the Accra hano cement price in the conversation.
No, but because I can say it depends on where you are.
Yes, so what means no, so you can't stick to say and near my bafem
and no bafem
and near my bafem says and one quan you do a memoir. Epiafo ade a omudi ese iron rock from kwan ye do o memoir. It is say we any complain member doctor service this obo jano. Service service. Eti opposition member we dey want any. Pianini complain honorable say iron rods yateso. Or cement yateso. Eti apart from iron rod and cement, pianini ade a o use woni wi ase ano. So it's so sad.
Free.
And then me no ka say wakan school asem. And then me no ka say and kwala exams a omo kire e JSS kura na na you free no and almost just 540.
It's never true, Kojo.
It was free. It was free.
Education
the way I respect you, no, Mr. and push me can you. Hey,
Kojo, Mendama this year, Memphis, I say. For the first time, Kojo, Salah Fest.
Okay.
You did Salah and we you know. Some organize games ma football.
Okay.
Na 16 teams ne participate here. Ni we no na believer ba any blessing good.
Okay.
And omo call funnels ma believer ba je. The ultimate winning 20,000. Believer ba. And we no second winning 10,000.
Okay.
And a share so for 2,000. They were fourth and young boys in Sunya 5,000. By a ball obi bi abaso the organizers o share omomo fekeke network near busunya fo nyina ball ma baso na believer abanso ye ball ma baso so omo to me win here that obi bi say.
All right, I wish God keep this MP for say for us. He's so eloquent, very intelligent. He will go another term. He should set up because his MC and boys are planning his
MC agenda.
As will be a class.
MP or you good. He's so respectful person. Already DBI or Krana, Uhuna, on funny MP Semino, and Bostu no honey ade. You might yes, who knows why MP you will be never can. But a year then you sit in a budget. In MC now, or person to try and no catch MC in so onyai. Now I no crab by a better seat in everything. Oh, my honorable peace of mind. Don't find you, Mamma constituency. Now the MC, you always did the MP. Wait, then I was so to judge. Better than you.